First off, like everyone always says, I want to give a huge thank you to Scoop. And now, I don't just want to say thank you. A lot of people do that. They say, big shout out to Scoop. Instead, I'm going to do something different. My favorite pair of shoes are Shattered Backboard 1s, alright? I would like to give a pair of Shattered Backboard 1s to Scoop 208. Unfortunately, I'm in an economical position in which I can't do that. However, what I did do, which is kind of the next best thing, I made him a drawing of a Shattered Backboard Jordan 1. Not only that, I also made him a grade school size in case he wants to give it to his kid. Now, before we get into any of my actual collection, I felt that it was necessary to say something about these shoes right here. Now, to you, these shoes might just seem like a normal pair of beaters, but to me, these are something else. These actually mean a lot to me. Extremely sentimental. The reason I wore these on the very day. I'm just kidding. Often when people see these big collections, well, mine's not actually that big. It's somewhat decent though, but people usually wonder how they make money for this. How do they save up the money? Well, I'm a busboy. I work Fridays through Sunday usually. It doesn't pay a lot. However, if you know how to save your money, it does add up. I also give out a lot of good tips on my channel on how to save money on sneakers. For instance, one of them, don't ever buy new shoes unless you're going to put them on a shelf or something. Always buy used. I usually buy VNDS, sometimes a little worn more. Because if you're going to wear them anyways, why would you lose like 20% of the profits? It's like a car. You lose 10% of the value when you leave the lot. Another thing I do to make money is I'm a DJ. I DJ parties. I have my own small little business. Also, another way I make money, which is another way that most sneakerheads make their spare money, is by reselling. When a pair of Yeezys drop, I usually end up getting more than one pair. I know that's kind of wrong. I think reselling's a little wrong considering some people can't get their hands on even one pair. However, if you do go check out my channel, I have a few videos on tips how to get Yeezys. I always get the Yeezys, so I mean it's kind of evidence that I'm getting them. I don't like to keep all of them. I like to sell them usually because I'm more of a Jordan guy, or like Nike, like classics, I guess. A lot of the old hype stuff, because that was the stuff that I couldn't afford when I was younger. Like some of the KDs or LeBrons, mostly Jordan retros. That's what I'm the big fan of. Without anything further ado, let's get right into the collection. To start off the collection, we have a pair of Bread 11 lows. The reason I'm showing you these first is because I made my first ever YouTube video unboxing these. I wanted to give a tip out when using StockX, which I highly do suggest. If you want a legit pair of sneakers, go to StockX or GOAT preferably. They get authenticated before they get to you. But my tip was, they give you a $25 coupon. Here's the trick. You can only get one coupon per email address and home address. What I did to save an extra $25, because every penny counts to me, I sent it to my neighbor's house and used a different email. While we're on the topic of StockX, I thought I'd show you another purchase I made off of StockX. Usually I don't buy dead stock shoes, however I did have that $25 coupon that I wanted to use because I do have 2 email addresses. I mean, that's $50 savings. If someone's handing you $50, are you going to turn that down? I wouldn't. Anyways, I wanted to tell you that the reason I haven't Undead Stop these, because I got these a while ago, I have a fear. I have a fear of Undead stocking shoes. That's another reason why I always buy used. It started off in 2014 or 13, whenever the Concord Lows released. And I got a pair for myself, not to resell. And I was like, oh, I'm going to wear them. But I just couldn't pull the trigger. Because I knew that once I wore them, I would lose some value. And especially at the time, every penny counted. I was selling candy out of my locker at the time. I was late for every single class. And it would just be a pain to lose $5 or $10. So to this day, I have a fear of undead stocking shoes. One day I'll get over it, and one day I'll undead stock these. As I told you, I was selling candy out of my locker while I was still in middle school. I had about $13 in my pocket, bought some Mentos, and I bought some packs of gum, because in middle school we couldn't go out to lunch, and the lunchroom didn't serve candy. So people were desperate to buy the candy. So I would buy the candy before school or after school. I'd bring it in and I'd overcharge people for it. I made a lot of money, but it was slow money. I remember I earned my first $200, and that $200 was hard. It was a grind. Like I said, I was late for classes. I was getting detentions. And what I decided to do, I decided to buy a first pair of really nice sneakers. I've always liked Bred 11s, so I decided to get a pair. But not these. No. I bought a different pair of Bred 11s. I bought a pair of Bred 11s, right? I gifted the money because I was 13. I didn't know what I was doing. I was stupid. Gifted the money to a guy in Canada. He never sent my shoes. And that $200, which might seem like not a lot for any of you guys, but to a 13-year-old kid who worked so hard for that $200, being late for classes, getting detentions, that $200 meant the world to me. And when I lost it, I was so frustrated, not just from losing the money, but because I was outsmarted too. So whenever I see Bred 11s, that's what I think about. However, that experience taught me a very valuable lesson. Not just to not gift people money, but just never trust people you don't know. So this shoe definitely has a lot of sentimental value to me. Now that I showed you the Bred 11 lows and the Bred 11 mids, I decided I would just go ahead and show you the rest of my Bred collection. Next up, we have the Bred 4s. This is one of my favorite shoes ever. The Bred colorway is just one of my favorite colorways. However, the Bred 4 is just awesome. One of my favorite shoes, if not the best shoe, in my opinion. Next up, we got the Flu Game 12s. This is probably my second favorite pair of 12s. I think my first favorite pair of 12s, it's got to be the French Blues. Really like that colorway. But just 12s in general, the aesthetics of the shoe are amazing. This leather feels great. And if you're wondering how I got this shoe or any other shoe, I probably have the unboxing video on my channel. I do know that I do have the unboxing video for this on my channel, so feel free to check that out as well. Now, that was basically my Bred collection, so I want to make a little transition. This is also red. Thought I'd show you this next. These are Ferrari For Teams. A lot of you already know that. I filmed a video for these. It was a blindfolded unboxing. That's kind of a new thing I'm trying out. If you like something unique, some unique unboxings or whatever, feel free to check that out. Anyways though, super cool shoe. I can't stop looking at it. It's so nice. This is one of my more recent pickups. As you see, it's the Black Toe 1. Unfortunately though, this isn't the Black Toe from 2016. This is the 2013 version, and to me they look the same. However, the leather quality does not square up. To me though, it didn't matter. What did matter though was the fact that these were way cheaper than the 2016 ones. And I said this a million times, but for me, every penny counts. I'm trying to save money in every single way possible. But yeah, Black Toe 1s. Super awesome shoe. Just Jordan 1s in general, they have a really nice aesthetic. Probably my favorite Jordan, if not the Jordan 4s. Speaking of Jordan 4s, this is another favorite of mine. These are the Cool Gray 4s. The way I got these, I was at the gym and I saw some guy wearing them. When you're out in public, guys, don't forget you're a sneakerhead. Feel free to just go up to someone and talk to them. Say, nice shoes, man. You trying to sell them? And if that's not awkward for you to say, maybe you end up buying a pair for a really good price. In my case, I ended up getting this. Listen up. This pair and a pair of dead stock black cement 3s. Hear this. For only $225.
Wow, it's very nice.
The reason he sold them to me for that cheap was because he wasn't really up to date on his sneaker market, if you know what I'm saying. He still thought that they were the same price as before, because if you remember, the black cements were sitting on shelves for quite a while, and I'm sure that he saw that these had some cracking to them, so he figured, oh, I'll just get a little over $200 for them. That's a good deal for me. No. For me, I'd say this was a really, really good deal. I ended up selling the black cement 3s because, like I said, I have a fear for Undead stocking shoes, so I'm probably going to get a used pair, or maybe I'll get the 2018 pair that's supposed to release with the Nike Air on the back. A lot of sneaker channels usually start off by showing their worst pairs of sneakers. I didn't really want to do that because it makes people want to click off. But I do think that I have to show them anyways because they are shoes. So these, just some Janoskis. I like to skateboard, so I have 2 pairs. I frequently wear these, not only when I skateboard, but just because they go with nearly everything. I wear these to work all the time because you need to wear all black. And then I got 2 other pairs of just, I got these when I didn't really know anything about shoes. Green was one of my favorite colors at the time, so I was just like, oh, I'll get some green shoes, and then saw black and red. I thought bread, so I picked these up. Some D Roses, nothing special. Just thought I'd show you everything. Next up, we have the LeBron 10 Cork. Now, something unique about this shoe, at least to me, this was the very first expensive shoe that I ever bought. Not this exact pair, but just LeBron 10 Corks. Like, that was the first actual really hyped shoe that I ever bought. I paid, I believe it was $400 at the time, and the hype on Nike basketball has died down so much that I managed to get myself another pair. I grew out of my previous pair. It was an 8.5. I had a huge collection in an 8.5 and 9, and I had to sell it all, unfortunately. I did profit on a couple of pairs, so that was pretty cool. But I'm trying to get all my pairs back in a size 9.5 to 10. I hate that my foot's growing, but it just came to a point where a size 9 and 8.5 were just way too unfathomable. Anyways though, this is by far one of my favorite shoes. When Nike basketball used to be really hyped, this was one of the main shoes that everyone wanted, the South Beach 9s, and I'm so glad to have them in my possession now. I made an unboxing video for these. I got them from GOAT. I did get them used, and they're pretty yellowed, as you see. I didn't get them this yellowed because I wear them a ton. I wear these things nearly all the time. And let me just say, I got these for an incredible price. I paid $150 plus shipping for these. To get them authenticated and shipped for $160, to me, that's an amazing deal. On the topic of Nike basketball hype, these also used to be pretty hyped. I remember people were asking like $300 to $400 for these. These are the What the KD 6s. I actually got my pair from Scoop 208's Facebook group, and I got these for $90 plus shipping, so totaled to about $100. This is definitely one of my favorite shoes, not just because of the way it looks, but because it's loud. I really do love loud shoes. I like wearing them with just maybe black and white, maybe some gray. I don't really like to match them, and I just like how they pop. They really catch people's attention, and I like that. Getting into Foamposites, this is the Gucci Foamposite. This is one of my favorite Foamposites ever. I'm not huge on foams, however, this colorway, it was just way too clean to pass up. It's got that gum bottom, and it's also got that white upper with the red and green Gucci colors. Just a super clean shoe, and I'm so happy to have it in my possession. Sticking with Foamposites, we got the Pure Platinum or Yeezy Foamposites. Now these didn't sell out. I think the price was like $250 or whatever. I was not gonna pay that $250. However, I did like the shoe, so I went on eBay and I copped a pair for, I believe it was $85. I filmed an unboxing video. All the details are in there. You could check that out. But I also mentioned in the videos, make sure you're careful when you buy off of eBay, Kixify, even in a Facebook group. There's like, obviously these, there's not a lot of fakes because they're a GR. Something like Yeezys or whatever, I would only buy through StockX, GOAT, or if you're at SneakerCon or Soul Exchange, or just get them from the retailer. Now right here we have Power Phase Yeezy. I really wanted to say I didn't like this shoe and I was all hype because they're honestly not that nice, especially compared to other Yeezy 350s. However, when I got this in hand and I started feeling that leather, I just fell in love. These things are just awesome. They're dead stock right now. I will undead stock them soon. I will face my fears. But as of now, before I go to sleep every night, I touch these. I'm going to put that out there. Not ashamed. I touch them before I go to sleep. They're so soft. Getting into some more hype, we got some Moonrock Yeezys right here. In my opinion, I definitely like V2s better. However, these are definitely super cool. I made a video on how I got these. Basically, it was a guy at my gym, right? I saw him wearing Oreo V2s and I had 2 pairs of Power Faces at the time. I was trying to get rid of one, like trade. I wasn't trying to sell it. I was just trying to trade it. So I said, hey man, like I see you're wearing Yeezys. You into like shoes at all? So it happened that he was into shoes. He was wearing Yeezys. And we ended up doing a trade. We traded his yellow Human Races and these Moonrock Yeezys for a pair of my cream Yeezys and the Power Phases. I don't know how he did it. Maybe he doesn't know the market too well. Maybe he thought the Power Phases were still going for that $1,000 that they were going for. I do feel bad for him, and he did want to trade back before. He said that the Power Phases were a size too small. Lucky for him though, I had a size 10 in the Power Phases, so I offered to trade him back. He just ignored me, because that wasn't the real reason he wanted to trade back. He just didn't want to admit that he didn't get the better end of the deal. Anyways though, back to the shoe. This is a super cool shoe. Super grateful that I was able to get these. I wear these all the time. They're kind of like beaters to me. Super cool. Still on the topic of Yeezys, we got the Zebras right here. I got 2 pairs of Zebras. I got a size 8 and a size 10. Obviously, I kept the size 10. I sold the size 8. And I made my money back for both pairs. So it's basically like I got a free shoe. And I made a little money on top of that. And last but not least, I know my collection isn't that big. It's just got some of my favorite shoes. However, it is growing. Every single week I get probably a box. I blow all my money from work. I physically can't save it. I'm addicted and I have a problem. But anyways, here we have the yellow Human Races. Still had the Flight Club sticker and tag on them. So I knew they were legit. Also watched a ton of How to Spot fake videos just to be 100%. Anyways though, these are just super cool. They're loud. Like I said, I love loud shoes. Do I think they're worth $1,000 though and up? No. Anyways guys, I really hope you enjoyed this collection video. I know it's not the biggest. I know it's not the best. However, these are some of my favorites. And the collection is growing, like I said. This is only the beginning.